The transport ship shook as it moved through space toward the giant gas planet. Jin-Woo Kim sat quietly in his seat, looking out the small window at the swirling clouds below. His new job was waiting for him on the space station above the planet. He had never worked for aliens before, but the pay was good. Very good. His family on Earth needed the money. The space station was huge. It looked like a crystal palace floating in the darkness. Beautiful gardens hung in the air around it, defying gravity. Jin-Woo had seen many impressive things during his time in the military, but this was different. This was alien wealth beyond anything humans could imagine. Lady Nara Velthani met him at the docking bay. She was tall and elegant, with blue skin that seemed to glow softly. Strange crystal patterns marked her face and arms. Her eyes were large and completely black, like deep pools. She wore flowing robes that changed color as she moved. "You are the human bodyguard," she said. Her voice was musical but cold. "I have heard much about your species." Jin-Woo bowed respectfully. "Yes, my lady. I am Jin-Woo Kim. I am here to protect you." Nara studied him carefully. Humans were still new to the galaxy. Most aliens thought they were primitive and greedy. She had hired this one because his military record was perfect. But she had heard whispers from other nobles. Humans, they said, could not resist taking things that did not belong to them. "Follow me," Nara said. "I will show you my home." The mansion was incredible. Rooms floated in midair, connected by bridges of light. Water flowed upward in some places, creating impossible waterfalls. The walls were made of materials Jin-Woo had never seen before. Everything glowed with soft alien light. "Your duties are simple," Nara explained as they walked. "You will protect my life. You will come with me to important meetings. You will make sure no one harms me or takes my belongings." She led him to his quarters. The room was larger than his entire apartment back on Earth. Through the transparent walls, he could see the gas planet turning slowly below. "There have been attempts on my life," Nara continued. "Other noble families want what I have. They want my trade routes, my mining rights, my political influence. That is why I need protection." Jin-Woo nodded. "I understand, my lady. I will keep you safe." That night, after Nara had gone to her private chambers, Jin-Woo began his work. He walked through the mansion, learning every room and corridor. He checked doors, windows, and security systems. He made notes about weak points and possible escape routes. As he worked, he noticed something strange. Valuable things were left lying around everywhere, on tables, on chairs, even on the floor. He saw jewels that could buy entire cities. Rare crystals worth more than starships. Data chips that probably contained trade secrets worth billions. It seemed careless for someone so wealthy. But Jin-Woo assumed this was normal for aliens who had so much money. He carefully noted the locations of these items in his security report. Leaving such valuable things unguarded was a security risk. The next morning, Nara found his report waiting for her. She read it carefully, noting how he had marked every valuable item as a potential security concern. He had not touched anything. He had not even moved the items to safer locations without permission. Over the following days, Jin-Woo settled into his routine. He woke early and checked the security systems. He practiced combat exercises in the training room. He studied the mansion's layout until he knew every secret passage and hidden room. Nara watched him carefully. She had cameras hidden throughout the mansion. She expected to catch him stealing something eventually. All the stories about human greed had to be true, but Jin-Woo surprised her. When he found a priceless sculpture lying on a couch, he gently moved it to a safer spot and reported the security concern. When he discovered rare gems scattered on a table, he carefully arranged them in a neat pile and suggested better storage. He treated every valuable item like it was a bomb that might explode if handled wrong. During his second week, Jin-Woo received a message from Earth. His sister Hyun appeared on the small screen in his room. She looked tired and worried. "Brother, I hope you are well," she said. "Father's medical bills are getting worse. The doctors say he needs more treatment, but we cannot afford it. I might have to leave university." Jin-Woo felt his heart break. His family had always struggled with money. His father had worked in dangerous factories his whole life, and now his body was failing. Hyun was so smart, so talented. She deserved to finish her engineering studies. He looked around his luxurious room. Just one of the jewels he had seen lying around could pay for his father's treatment and Hyun's education. But the thought of taking anything never entered his mind. He had given his word to protect Lady Nara's belongings, not steal them. "I will send more money soon," he promised in his reply message. Do not worry about father or school. I will take care of everything. He would have to work extra shifts, save every credit he could, but he would not break his honor. Nara watched this conversation through her hidden cameras. She saw the pain in Jinwoo's eyes when he learned about his family's troubles. She saw him look around the room at all the wealth surrounding him, and she saw him turn away from it all without hesitation. The other servants in the mansion began to notice Jinwoo too. There was a young human boy named Minho who cleaned the lower levels. The alien servants often bullied him because he was small and human, but Jinwoo always spoke kindly to him, helped him carry heavy things, and made sure he got enough food. "Why do you help me?" Minho asked one day. "Because it is right," Jinwoo answered simply. Nara heard about this too. She began to wonder if everything she had been told about humans was wrong. This one seemed different. He was kind, honest, and completely trustworthy, but she decided to test him more. She would leave even more valuable things around the mansion. Surely he would break eventually. All creatures had their price. She had no idea that her simple test would change everything she believed about humans and about herself. Nara decided to make her tests harder. She began leaving more valuable items in obvious places. A data chip worth millions of credits sat on her desk for 3 days. Rare pearls from the Andorian system were scattered across her coffee table. She even left a small bag of untraceable currency on the floor of her study. Each time she watched through her hidden cameras. Each time Jinwoo did the same thing. He would find the items during his security rounds, carefully secure them, and add notes to his daily report about improving storage safety. "My lady," he said during one of their morning meetings, "I am concerned about the valuable items left in open areas. If an intruder broke in, they could easily steal these things. Perhaps we should install better safes." Nara almost laughed. Here was a human suggesting she protect her wealth from thieves, while other nobles had warned her that he was the thief she should fear most. "I will consider your suggestion," she said, studying his face for any sign of deception. She found none. As weeks passed, Nara's tests became more creative. She left a fortune in rare crystals next to Jinwoo's workout equipment. She placed priceless art pieces in hallways he patrolled alone. She even accidentally dropped a bag of precious metals near his feet during a walk through the gardens. Every single time, Jinwoo either secured the items properly or returned them to her immediately. He never seemed tempted. He never even paused to admire their beauty or calculate their worth. Meanwhile, Jinwoo received more bad news from Earth. His father's condition was getting worse. The medical bills were climbing higher than ever. Hyun had taken a part-time job to help with expenses, which meant her grades were suffering. "I found a cheaper treatment option," Hyun told him during their weekly call. "It is not as good, but it is all we can afford." Jinwoo wanted to scream. Around him was enough wealth to solve every problem his family had ever faced. But he had given his word to protect these things, not take them. His honor meant more than money. "Do not take the cheaper treatment," he said firmly. "I will find a way to get more money." After the call ended, he sat in his room looking at a small crystal figurine on his nightstand. Nara had left it there that morning, probably as another test. It was beautiful, carved from a single piece of rare stone. It was also worth more than his father's entire medical treatment. Jinwoo picked up the figurine carefully and carried it to Nara's office. He knocked on the door and waited for permission to enter. "My lady, you left this in my room," he said, placing the figurine on her desk. "I believe it belongs in your collection room where it will be safer." Nara stared at him. "You could have kept it. I might not have noticed, but I would have noticed," Jinwoo replied, "and it does not belong to me." After he left, Nara sat alone in her office, confused and amazed. What kind of creature chose honor over solving his family's suffering? What kind of being could resist such temptation? She began to watch Jinwoo more carefully, not looking for theft but trying to understand his character. She saw him wake early every morning to exercise and meditate. She watched him study security manuals in his free time, always trying to get better at his job. She observed him being kind to every servant in the mansion, regardless of their species. Young Minho, the human cleaning boy, had become especially attached to Jinwoo. The boy was often sick, but the mansion's medical system was only for important guests, not servants. Nara watched through her cameras as Jinwoo shared his own medical supplies with the boy and taught him exercises to build strength. "Why are you so nice to me?" Minho asked one day as Jinwoo helped him carry heavy cleaning equipment. "Because someone should be," Jinwoo answered. And because you remind me of my sister when she was younger. Nara learned that Jinwoo sent most of his salary back to Earth to help his family. He kept only enough for basic needs. He never bought luxuries for himself, never spent money on entertainment or fancy food. Every credit went to his father's treatment and his sister's education. She also noticed something else. Other servants had started acting differently around Jinwoo. They stood straighter, worked harder, and treated each other with more respect. His example was making everyone better. One evening, Nara decided to have dinner with Jinwoo instead of eating alone. She wanted to understand him better. "Tell me about your family," she said as they ate. Jinwoo's face softened. "My father worked in factories his whole life. Dangerous work, but it paid enough to feed us. My sister Hyun is very smart. She wants to build spaceships someday. My mother died when we were young, so father raised us alone." "And you joined the military?" "Yes, it was the only way to get training and education. I wanted to protect people who could not protect themselves." Nara thought about her own life. She had been born into wealth and power. She had never struggled, never worried about money, never had to choose between her needs and her family's needs. "Do you ever regret not being born wealthy?" she asked. Jinwoo considered the question carefully. "Wealth without earning it has no meaning. My father taught me that a person's worth comes from their actions, not their possessions." That night, Nara made a decision. She would stop testing Jinwoo. She had learned what she needed to know. He was not just honest. He was the most honorable being she had ever met. But she did not know that someone else had been watching too. Someone who saw Jinwoo's access to incredible wealth and planned to use it against both him and Nara. The real test was about to begin, and it would come from an enemy neither of them expected. The diplomatic reception was the biggest event of the year. Representatives from dozens of alien species gathered on Nara's space station to discuss trade agreements and political alliances. Jinwoo wore his best formal uniform and stayed close to Nara as she moved through the crowd of guests. The great hall sparkled with lights and floating decorations. Beings of all shapes and sizes talked and laughed together. Some looked almost human, while others were so strange that Jinwoo had to force himself not to stare. "Lady Nara," a smooth voice called out. "How wonderful to see you." Jinwoo turned to see another Velthani approaching. This one was taller than Nara, with darker blue skin and more elaborate crystal markings. Her smile was beautiful but somehow felt dangerous. "Lady Sola," Nara replied politely. "I did not expect to see you here." "Oh, I would not miss such an important gathering," Sola said. Her black eyes moved to Jinwoo. "And this must be your famous human bodyguard. I have heard so much about your species." Jinwoo bowed respectfully but said nothing. Something about this alien made him uncomfortable. Later in the evening, while Nara was in a private meeting with trade officials, Sola approached Jinwoo again. She gestured for him to follow her to a quiet balcony overlooking the gas planet below. "I wanted to speak with you privately," she said, her voice like silk. "I have a business proposal." "I do not do business, my lady," Jinwoo replied. "I only provide security." Sola laughed, a sound like crystal bells. "Oh, but this is about security. Specifically about what might happen to your employer in the near future." Jinwoo's hand moved slightly toward his weapon. "Are you threatening Lady Nara?" "Not threatening, warning." Sola moved closer, speaking quietly. "There are those who believe Nara has too much power, too much influence in the trade councils. Accidents happen to people who make too many enemies. Lady Nara's safety is my responsibility," Jinwoo said firmly. "Yes, but what if you were not there to protect her?" Sola pulled out a small device that projected a holographic display. "This contains enough wealth to buy your own planet. Mining rights, trade routes, bank accounts on a dozen worlds. All of it could be yours." Jinwoo stared at the numbers floating in the air. It was more money than he could imagine. Enough to cure his father, send his sister to the best schools in the galaxy, and set his family up for generations. "All you have to do," Sola continued, "is be somewhere else when certain events occur. Take a sick day. Visit the medical bay. Have a malfunction with your communication device. Simple things." "You want me to abandon my post so someone can hurt Lady Nara?" Jinwoo said. "I want you to be practical. Your loyalty is admirable, but loyalty does not pay medical bills. Think about your family on Earth. Think about what this money could do for them." For a moment, Jinwoo imagined it. His father getting the best treatment available. high on attending the finest engineering academy, his family never worrying about money again. Then he thought about Nara. She had trusted him with her life. She had been nothing but fair and respectful to him. Young Minho looked up to him. The other servants depended on his example. "No," he said simply. Sola's beautiful face twisted with anger. "You fool. Do you think your alien mistress cares about you? Do you think she sees you as anything more than a trained animal?" "What Lady Nara thinks of me does not matter," Jinwoo replied. "I gave my word to protect her. That is what I will do." He turned to walk away, but Sola called after him. "This offer will not last forever, human. And when the time comes, remember that you chose poverty over wisdom." Jinwoo went straight to Nara and reported the conversation. He told her everything Sola had said and done. Nara listened carefully, her face growing darker with each word. "She offered you wealth to betray me," Nara said when he finished. "Yes, my lady. And you refused." "Of course." Nara studied his face. "Even though the money could help your family?" Jinwoo met her eyes. "Especially because of that. My family raised me to have honor. Taking that money would dishonor their memory and their teachings." 3 days later, Nara's security chief brought disturbing news. Hidden cameras had recorded Jinwoo meeting with Sola on the balcony. The footage clearly showed her handing him a payment device, which he appeared to accept before putting it in his pocket. "The evidence is clear," the security chief said. "The human has been bought." Nara stared at the footage in shock. It looked exactly like Jinwoo taking a bribe, but something felt wrong about it. "Have you found this payment device?" she asked. "Not yet, my lady. He has probably hidden it well." Her advisors were unanimous. "You must eliminate him before he betrays you," they said. "Humans cannot be trusted. This proves what we have always known." But Nara remembered watching Jinwoo through her cameras for months. She remembered him returning valuable items without being asked. She remembered his kindness to the servants and his devotion to his family. "I will speak with him first," she decided. That evening, she summoned Jinwoo to her private office. The holographic evidence played on the wall between them. "Explain this," she said. Jinwoo watched the footage with confusion. "My lady, this is not what happened. I refused her offer. I never took anything from her. The recording shows otherwise. Then the recording has been changed somehow. I swear on my family's honor that I did not accept any payment from Lady Sola." Nara looked into his eyes, searching for deception. She found only honest confusion and hurt that she would doubt him. "My advisors say I should have you killed," she said quietly. "If that is what you believe is right, then I will not resist," Jinwoo replied. "But I want you to know that I have never betrayed you, and I never would." Nara made her decision. "You will submit to a neural scan. Our technology can detect lies directly from your brain. If you are innocent, it will prove it. If you are guilty, I understand, my lady. I will take any test you require." As Jinwoo was led away for the scanning procedure, Nara sat alone in her office, wondering if she was making a terrible mistake. But something deep inside told her that the human who had refused to steal even a single crystal was not capable of betraying her for money. She just hoped her instincts were right. The neural scanning chamber was a cold, sterile room filled with alien technology. Jinwoo lay on the examination table as strange machines moved around his head, reading his thoughts and memories. The process was uncomfortable but not painful. Dr. Keth, the station's chief medical officer, monitored the results. After an hour of scanning, he turned to Nara with a puzzled expression. "My lady, this human is telling the truth. His memories show that he refused Lady Sola's offer completely. He never accepted any payment device." Nara felt relief wash over her, followed quickly by anger. "Then how do you explain the security footage?" "The recording has been digitally altered," announced her chief of security, Daiho, who had been investigating while the scan took place. "Very sophisticated work, but our experts found the modifications. Someone wanted us to believe the human had betrayed you, Sola," Nara said grimly. "She planned this from the beginning." As her security team worked to uncover the full extent of the conspiracy, Nara made an unexpected discovery. While reviewing Jinwoo's personal files to understand how he might have been targeted, she accidentally accessed his private communications. She knew she should not read them, but curiosity made her continue. What she found changed everything she thought she knew about her bodyguard. The messages to his sister Hyeon painted a picture of a family struggling against impossible odds. His father's medical condition was worse than she had realized. The treatments he needed cost more than most people earned in a lifetime. The doctors say the new medicine might help, Hyun had written in one message. But it cost 50,000 credits. I know we cannot afford it, but maybe if I work extra shifts. Jinwoo's reply broke Nara's heart. Do not work extra shifts. Your studies are too important. I will find a way to get the money. Father will get the treatment he needs. But the messages showed that Jinwoo had no way to get that kind of money. His salary, generous by human standards, was still not enough for his father's medical needs. He had been working extra security shift, saving every credit, even skipping meals to send more money home. Nara realized that during all her months of testing him with incredible wealth, Jinwoo had been watching his father slowly die from a disease that her pocket change could cure instantly. The next message made her feel even worse. Brother, I have decided to leave university, Hyun had written. The costs are too high and father needs the money more than I need an education. No, Jinwoo had replied immediately. You will not sacrifice your dreams. I will find another way. But Nara could see from the financial records that there was no other way. Jinwoo was already sending home everything he could spare. She found herself crying, though she did not fully understand why. This human had been surrounded by enough wealth to solve all his problems, had been tempted by Sola with riches beyond imagination, yet had never wavered in his loyalty to her. Her investigation was interrupted when young Minho knocked on her office door. My lady, the boy said nervously. I heard that Jinwoo might be in trouble. I wanted to tell you something important. What is it, child? Minho looked around to make sure they were alone. Jinwoo has been helping me with medicine. I get sick sometimes and the other servants say I should just die because I am weak and human. But Jinwoo gives me medicine from his own supplies. He also gives money to help other servants when they have problems. Nara stared at the boy. He gives you his medicine? Yes, my lady. And he teaches me to read better. He says education is the most important thing for humans like us. Minho paused, then added quietly, he is the kindest person I have ever met. He would never hurt you. After Minho left, Nara sat in her office feeling ashamed. She had spent months testing Jinwoo's honesty, while he had been sacrificing his own needs to help others. She had suspected him of greed while he was giving away what little he had. Her security chief returned with more disturbing news. My lady, we have uncovered a larger conspiracy. Lady Sola is working with several other noble houses. They plan to eliminate you during the upcoming trade summit. How many are involved? At least 6 major families, possibly more. They want to divide your territories and trade routes among themselves. Nara felt the walls closing in around her. Enemies surrounded her on all sides, and she had nearly destroyed the loyalty of the one person she could truly trust. Where is Jinwoo now? She asked. Still in the medical wing, recovering from the neural scan. Nara went to find him immediately. She needed to apologize, to explain, to somehow make up for doubting him. But when she arrived at the medical wing, she found Jinwoo packing his belongings. What are you doing? She asked. He looked up, his face calm but sad. I am preparing to leave, my lady. The neural scan proved my innocence, but I understand that trust once broken is difficult to repair. You will be safer with a bodyguard, you do not doubt. You would abandon me when I am surrounded by enemies? I would never abandon you, Jinwoo said firmly. I will stay until you find a replacement. I will help train them. I will do whatever is necessary to ensure your safety. But I cannot continue to work for someone who believes I am capable of betrayal. Nara realized she had made a terrible mistake. In trying to test his honesty, she had broken something precious between them. I have been a fool, she said quietly. I know about your father's illness. I know about your sister's education costs. I know about the medicine you share with Minho and the money you give to other servants. Jinwoo's eyes widened. My lady, I did not mean for you to. I know that you have been surrounded by enough wealth to solve every problem in your life. Yet you never took so much as a single credit that was not yours. Nara stepped closer. I tested you for months, leaving valuable items everywhere, waiting for you to steal something. But you never did. It was a test? Jinwoo looked hurt and confused. Yes, and I failed it completely. You showed me honor beyond anything I thought possible, and I repaid you with suspicion and doubt. Before Jinwoo could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors, and Nara's communication device crackled to life. "My lady," her security chief's voice was urgent. "We have multiple ships approaching. The attack has begun." The attack came faster and harder than anyone expected. Explosions rocked the space station as enemy ships poured through the defensive barriers. The lights flickered and emergency sirens wailed through every corridor. "The main security control room has been compromised." Diho's voice crackled through the communication system. "We have traitors inside the station helping the attackers." Jinwoo immediately pushed aside their personal conversation. His training took over and he became the professional soldier once again. "My lady, we need to get you to the secure vault," he said, grabbing his weapons and scanning equipment. "It has the strongest defenses on the station." They ran through corridors filled with smoke and emergency lighting. Other residents of the station were evacuating in panic, but some of the security guards were not helping. Instead, they were actively blocking escape routes and guiding attackers toward important areas. "The corruption goes deeper than we thought," Nara said as they avoided a group of hostile guards. An explosion nearby threw them both to the ground. When the smoke cleared, they were separated from the main group of loyal security personnel. Jinwoo checked his communication device, but the signal was jammed. "We are on our own," he said. "Can you still access the station's internal systems?" "From certain secure terminals, yes. But most of them will be in compromised areas." They made their way carefully through the damaged station. Twice they had to hide from groups of attackers. Once they had to fight their way past corrupted guards who tried to capture Nara. Through it all, Jinwoo kept Nara safe with skill that amazed her. He seemed to know where enemies would appear before they showed themselves. He found paths through the chaos that she would never have seen. His military training showed in every movement. Finally, they reached the most secure area of the station, Nara's private treasury. The massive vault contained her most precious possessions, items worth more than entire planets. But more importantly, it had defensive systems that could withstand almost any attack. "The vault has its own power source and communication array," Nara explained as they approached the entrance. "We can coordinate the defense from there." The heavy doors sealed behind them with a sound like thunder. Inside the treasury was a wonder of alien architecture. Shelves and display cases rose toward the ceiling, filled with artifacts from across the galaxy. Crystals larger than humans glowed with inner light. Rare metals and stones sparkled like captured stars. Jinwoo barely glanced at the treasures around him. He was already activating the vault's defensive systems and communication equipment. "Can you contact the loyal security forces?" Nara asked. "Working on it," Jinwoo replied, his fingers moving rapidly over the control panels. "The attackers are jamming most frequencies, but this vault has some protected channels." As he worked, more explosions shook the station. Through the vault's security monitors, they could see enemy forces moving through the corridors. The attackers wore the uniforms of several different noble houses, confirming that this was indeed a coordinated conspiracy. "There," Jinwoo said as he established communication with the remaining loyal guards. "I can see their positions now. They are trying to reach the main power core and the life support systems. If they succeed, everyone on the station will die," Nara said. Jinwoo studied the tactical displays for a moment, then began entering commands into the security system. "Not if we stop them first." Nara watched in amazement as Jinwoo transformed the treasury into a command center. He used the vault's powerful computers to track enemy movements throughout the station. He coordinated the defense efforts of scattered security teams. He even managed to turn some of the station's own defensive systems against the attackers. "How do you know how to do all this?" she asked. "Military training," he replied without looking away from the screens. "Also, I spent months studying every system on this station. I wanted to be ready for any emergency." The battle raged for hours. From their secure position, Jinwoo directed the defense like a master chess player. He sent loyal guards to protect critical systems. He sealed off areas where enemies were advancing. He even managed to restore power to several damaged sections. But the attackers kept coming. For every enemy they stopped, two more seemed to take their place. "My lady," Jinwoo said grimly, "I need to leave the vault. There are too many of them, and our people are running out of ammunition and medical supplies." "Absolutely not," Nara said. "It is too dangerous out there." "It is too dangerous everywhere. But from here I can only give orders. Out there I can actually fight." Before Nara could stop him, Jinwoo was already preparing to leave. He gathered weapons and equipment, checking everything carefully. "If something happens to me," he said, "lock the vault and wait for help to arrive. Do not try to rescue me or anyone else. Your safety is the most important thing." He opened the vault door and disappeared into the smoke-filled corridor beyond. For the next 2 hours, Nara watched the security monitors in terror. She saw Jinwoo moving through the station like a ghost, appearing where enemies least expected him. He rescued trapped civilians, resupplied loyal guards, and single-handedly held crucial defensive positions. But there were so many attackers. Eventually, even Jinwoo's incredible skills would not be enough. Then the monitors went dark. Communication was lost. Nara was alone in the vault with no way to know what was happening outside. She waited in agony as explosions continued to shake the station. Had Jinwoo been captured? Killed? Was he lying wounded somewhere, needing help? Finally, she could stand it no longer. Against all of Jinwoo's orders, she opened the vault door and went looking for him. The corridors were filled with smoke and debris. Bodies of both attackers and defenders lay scattered throughout the station. But gradually, Nara realized that the sounds of battle were growing quieter. She found Jinwoo in the main security control room, surrounded by unconscious enemies. He was wounded but alive, working frantically at the control panels. "What are you doing here?" he demanded when he saw her. "I told you to stay in the vault." "I was worried about you," she admitted. "Well, worry about this instead," he said, pointing at the displays. "I captured their command ship, but there is a problem. Lady Sola set the station's power core to overload. When it explodes, it will take out everything within 100 kilometers. Can you stop it?" "Maybe, but I need access to your personal command codes. The ones only you know." Together, they worked to prevent the catastrophe. Nara provided the codes while Jinwoo rerouted power and reprogrammed safety systems. With only minutes to spare, they managed to shut down the overload sequence. As the immediate danger passed, they found themselves alone in the control room, surrounded by evidence of the battle they had just won. "Why did you come looking for me?" Jinwoo asked quietly. Nara looked around at the treasures scattered throughout the room. During the fighting, priceless artifacts had been damaged or destroyed. Ancient crystals lay shattered on the floor. Rare metals had been melted by weapon fire. "Because I realized something," she said. "All of this wealth, all of these treasures, they mean nothing compared to one honest person who keeps their word." She turned to face him directly. "I spent months testing your honesty with meaningless objects while you were showing me something far more valuable. You showed me what real honor looks like." Jinwoo started to speak, but she continued. "I know about your father's medical needs and your sister's education. I know you have been surrounded by enough wealth to solve every problem in your life. Yet you never took anything that was not yours." She paused, then added, "I want to offer you a partnership, not just employment. Help me build something better than what we had before." "What do you mean?" "I mean we work together as equals. You help me run my businesses, and I help you change how the galaxy sees humans. No more tests, no more suspicion, just mutual respect and shared goals." Jinwoo considered this carefully. "And my family?" "Your father will get the best medical treatment available anywhere in the galaxy. Your sister will attend the finest engineering academy we can find, and we will establish a foundation to help other humans and species who need opportunities." For the first time since she had known him, Jinwoo smiled. "I accept," he said, "but on one condition." "What is that?" "We include young Minho in our foundation, and we make sure that no one else has to choose between honor and helping their family." 6 months later, Nara and Jinwoo stood together on the observation deck of their new headquarters. Below them, construction crews were building a school and medical center that would serve beings from dozens of different species. Eon had arrived from Earth and was already excelling in her advanced engineering classes. Jinwoo's father was recovering from his treatment and had sent a message saying how proud he was of his son. Young Minho, now healthy and strong, was studying to become a diplomat. He wanted to help build bridges between different species just like Jinwoo and Nara had done. "Do you ever regret not taking Sola's offer?" Nara asked teasingly. Jinwoo laughed. "Every day I'm reminded that the best things in life cannot be bought." As they watched ships from across the galaxy arriving at their station, both carrying students and bringing new partnership opportunities, they knew they had built something far more valuable than wealth. They had built trust, respect, and hope for a better future.